Okay, so welcome everybody to Higher Living, and we've just changed our branding to World Network to be more inclusive. My intention for this community is to get everyone to Germany, all expenses paid, all of us and all of your community that join us. That's my focus. So I've invited Lorraine here today to just help us on that journey of really understanding the sacredness of remote healing and distance healing, and also to really understand the potency of the resonance. So for those who don't have resonance, you can also use your Healy in remote ways with all the other programs as well. So Lorraine, like, how do I introduce you? I'll get you to do your own intro, but I met Lorraine purely through the online world. She had just landed in Quantum Evolution page by random, and we've just had a beautiful connection. She's done a few healings for me, literally changed my life. Even just her voice heals me, and she's just done a beautiful quick healing for me this morning, and I've asked her if she would open for all of us to do that. So I'm going to hand to Lorraine. She's a master healer, teacher, has the most amazing amount of knowledge, and is very connected to Uluru in Australia. There's so much more to learn, but we haven't got enough time for that today. We're just going to focus on how to do a powerful remote healing with your Healy.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lee. I'm happy to do what I just did with Lee. I've got this wonderful little gadget here, and it's just a little tool, and you know, tools is nothing more than tools, but they're all handy, those little tools. So if we just put an intent out here right now, and I'll just play this. It's really a personal instrument from Deepak Chopra, and it's more personal than for other people because it resonates in your own head. But it's a way of preparing yourself ready for a meditation. So maybe if we start with a little prayer right now, and we just ask for guidance and for us all to be on the same page, and we ask that all of our guides and all of our angels be with us, and that our hearts are open to receive. And then I'll just play this little thing. So just breathing in, and then breathing out slowly as I play. I wish you all love and light on your Healy journey. So thank you for having me, Lee. I really appreciate the opportunity. I won't go too much into my story because, you know, we'd be here too long, but the basis of it is I've been a healer for over 25 years, and I had an out-of-body experience that awakened me, and I really had to surrender to that experience, and I never planned to be a healer, but I am. I now teach energetic healing. I focus very much on healing the past, and I do things like Healing the Past workshop. I take people to Uluru and teach them energetic healing once a year. I've written a book. My passion is the patterns and programs of the past that hold us back, and that includes family connections, positions in the family, etc. So they're my passions, in helping people find their own empowerment, helping them to disconnect from the energies that are holding them back, whatever they may be, and bringing their energy fully back to themselves. So that's where I come from. But today we're just going to be talking about how I've intuitively, so there's no right or wrong with Healy, that's what I like about it. And some of you are healers, and some of you are empaths, and some of you aspire to let Healy take you on a personal healing journey, and you obviously are passionate about helping other people find Healy and use it on a personal level. So for me, once I played with it for about 6 weeks, I mean, I just had to sit with it and just play with it on myself. And I'm the kind of person that won't recommend to anyone until I'm 100% sure. So I played with it for 6 months before I even shared it with my network. And in Adelaide, I owned a large healing centre, so I've got healers in Adelaide, and I've got colleagues in Adelaide, and a lot of people that have followed me for many years. So I didn't want to give them a bum steer, so to speak, you know, and it's not a cheap device. So I had to be sure within myself, and I guess you're going to find the same thing. Once you're fully convinced, then you share what you've experienced with other people. That's what I've done. Now, I have a friend that I'm quite passionate about in Adelaide who has a small cell carcinoma on her neck and has refused treatment. And with small cell carcinoma, the prognosis isn't very good. It's about 5 years. And some of the stories with the absent was when I did go to Adelaide, I did the diagnostics on her, and what came up was bacteria and tonsils. And interestingly enough, she told me then that she'd had tonsillitis from the age of 5 to 16, should have had them removed and didn't. Was then going to see another natural doctor, and when she saw him, he suggested that it may not be cancer, that it may actually be a bacteria. So very, very interesting. So I've been doing, naturally this person has ordered a Healy, and so have other people, but in the meantime, I've been doing absence. So the way I like to do an absent, and I've seen, obviously people are designing their own way of doing it, but this is just my way. It may not be your way, but this is what works for me. So what I do is I call that person up. So this friend of mine, I would call her up. While she's on the phone, I've already put in her picture, and I really do like to have the picture. I think that's important. All of those things that are there, like the photo of the client, the name and everything, it's there for a reason. So I think we should fill it all out. Obviously not the details if you don't need to with email, etc., but certainly those other things. I think you've got to get the most out of it. So having the picture there, I think, is important from my perspective. So what I do is I stay on the phone so that I'm sharing it with the client while I'm doing it. So I go through the resonance, and once I come up with, say, bioenergetic 2, for instance, then I'll tell the client, yeah, look, it's come up bioenergetic 2, but I want to zone into that and I want to go deeper with that. So then I go to the next level, go into bioenergetic and pick out what it is. Now, I'm really believing into talking to the client, because I do that one-on-one. Like, I want that person's soul to be working with me, not me working on them, but us working together. So then I'll come down to, well, look, what's come up for you is tonsils and bacteria. Shall we run that? Then I like the client to go and either lay on their bed and meditate, or to be on their massage table if they have one. So then I've said to the client, look, I'm going to run these 2 programs, and I'm going to run them for 20, there's a cycle there for 26 minutes. So I put it on for 26 minutes and let that cycle go through. But what I do then is I stay personally connected to the client, and I go into my healing room. And for you, it can just be your space. It might even just be your own bedroom and your bed, or it might be that you have a spare bedroom if you're not a healer. But I actually, and then I imagine that client is laying on that bed, and I place my hands over their head and I say a prayer. Now, your prayer can be, if you're a healer, you know how to pull your guides and your angels in. You know how to bring in the energy. But if you're not a healer, it can be a heart-centered prayer for this person, saying something along the lines of, I ask the universe, I ask for God, if you're comfortable with that word, I ask for the Creator to pour loving energy to enhance this healing with Healy, to make certain that it enters every cell of this person's body, and that only the very best happens for this person. I then place my hands over the person's head and I send love. And I just think of this person. You don't have to be there for the 26 minutes. I don't stay there for the whole 26 minutes. I do this for about 5 minutes, where I connect in until I can feel my hands are pouring in that loving energy. and then I say a prayer over the client, and then I step away. So I go off and do something for about 15 minutes, and then I keep coming back and checking. When the Healy's gone through its cycle, I then go back and I check again the general all Healy frequencies and see what comes up. And if it comes up something different the second time round, then I just start the vibration again and I let it go through that. And then I might even do it a third time, just depending on how I feel. So we've honed in first time in doing what came up that we'd honed into, but then I'm going back checking them again because it's going to alter after that 26 minutes. It's going to come up with something different. So you might find that what you were running, say in the bioenergetic 2, has now gone to secondary place and something else has come up. So you can just do a quick vibration of whatever else comes up and just let it go through that. So once it's gone through all that, and once I feel like, I think that's enough for today, it's probably about 30 minutes, then I'll ring the client back and I'll get some feedback. I'll say, right, this is what I did. I ran this for 26 minutes. Then I tell them what came up the second time. And I tell them what I went through for them for the second time, so that I keep them involved in every step that I do. And then I ask them how they're feeling. And usually, I forgot to say, before they lay down, I ask them to imagine and visualize and go into a meditative state and try and stop thinking and just imagine that they have the bands on their wrists and that the energy is actually pumping through their body. As we're doing it, because this is all about visualization and working energy to energy. And if they're participating with you, because as a healer of the length of time I've been a healer, I've really learned that you work with the client soul to soul. And I have an expectation of my client as they have an expectation of me. So my clients don't come and go, heal me. I say, we're going to do this together. And I make certain that they're happy with the direction I'm going to go, because I want them to work with me, not expect me to do the work while they assess how good I am. I'm not interested in that. I'm only interested in you working with me soul to soul. And so absently, it works exactly the same. So then I wrap it up then and leave it with the client. So let me just explain why I know it works so well absently. So I explained to you that 18 months ago I had a healing centre for 20 odd years in Adelaide. It was a massive healing centre. I sold my share because I was drawn to come to the Gold Coast. I needed to come up here for many reasons, but I knew I had work to do up here as well. And so I didn't know how I was going to go not having my healing crowd around me that supported me, because I have one particular healer in Adelaide that, you know, for survival, we were doing a clearing on each other on a weekly basis. So I thought, well, I'll have to rely on the ocean and absent healings. And to my utter surprise, we still do a Monday afternoon healing session together that takes us maybe an hour, 30 minutes for her, 30 minutes for me. And I ring her and say, what's going on with your week? How are you feeling? She'll say, I'm absolutely full of all the clients I've seen. So fine, you go first. You're in the greater need. And I go to my massage table and I visualize her there and I rip out the energy the same way I would do if I was right there with her. I plow the energy into her head exactly the same. I light my candles in my room. I use my sprays exactly the same. I act as if she's laying on that table with me, and she acts as if she's laying on the table and I'm working on her. And this is no word of a lie. It works exactly the same as when we were together. And we're both blown away by the fact that we can actually measure it, because we've worked together for years and years and years doing this personally, and here we are doing it absently, and there is no difference. So when I read about Healy that day that Lee spoke of and ended up being put on to Lee, I already knew that this was for me and this how it would work. And I knew the power because I understand energy, I understand frequency, and I knew that this was a powerful tool. And so I totally, absolutely believe in Healy. I believe in using healing absently, but it's got to be done in a sacred manner. And I can't stress that enough, that, you know, with a pure heart and a sacred intent, and just a few of those sacred ceremonies, you know, like saying a prayer beforehand, including the client and giving them clear direction on what you want them to do, and then talking to them lovingly afterwards and explaining how you're feeling and where you think this is going. You know, these things are really important. So that's what I have to share with you, and I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Lorraine, that's beautiful. I just wanted everyone to experience your voice. I don't know if everyone else is getting that, but like anytime Lorraine is talking to me in person or on screen, I feel healed, and she did a beautiful quick healing for me. And if we've got time, I'll might get her to close out something really special, because it was a little bit hard to hear the what's the name of that whistle that you've got?
I can't, a frequency whistle. I can't remember the exact name, sorry.
I didn't quite get I'm not sure if everyone else caught that, but we might just go again so we can get that feeling. It's such a good vibe. There's a couple of things that I just wanted to bring up. So I don't have Lorraine's experience, and I just want to share with that. Like, I use my Reiki practitioner experience to run distance healings. And I've also experienced them so powerful, the results so powerful. I've also experienced people who are high performing women, interesting enough, that's my background coming from corporate, just wanting to get it done, just wanting to get healed, and messaging me saying, hey, I've got a sore eye, I've got a sore leg, and wanting to get it done. And the thing that comes up is rest, rejuvenation. You know, it's really interesting. Healy takes you on a journey. Now, not everyone has resonance. I know we're all aspiring to get the resonance, which is what Lorraine's talking about today, is that I also run the aura, which I absolutely love for me personally, because I'm quite a sensitive person. And it's changed the game for me. I feel strong. I don't feel like I can be penetrated by people's energy as much. It's just, I honestly feel like 80, 90% improvement from where I was 3 months ago. I was even scared to go to events. So the Healy has changed my life. And I know many of you that started on the journey back then 3 months ago with me have felt the same. So welcoming in all these new healers and new perspectives and new ways of doing things. So I just wanted Lorraine to share how she does things, but you will find your own method as well. And I know that you're all intuitive. And what I love about this so much is that I get to tune in now. And so when I do the remote healings, I get downloads. And so I write notes. I literally write notes for the client of the downloads that I'm getting. And I know that you all get the same. So share that with the clients. And I've just gone into the chat on more of a business logistic sense to understand what healers are charging for these. And it really is up to you. So you can ask for an energetic exchange for these. You don't need to be running these free of charge unless you want to. But the range is starting at $88 US or whatever currency, into 111, 222, like whatever you want to, whatever you feel, and you incorporate all your modalities, all the things you love. So Lorraine incorporates essences, candles, energy, like everything. So it really is up to you how you want to tailor those sessions. And I love how Lorraine shares that it is a very, very sacred experience. And so when people are saying, Lee, can you do this? Can you run this? You run this? And it's like, well, I actually don't do free healings. I'm happy to do aura and harmonize that. We can use the vibrate function for 37 seconds on the resonance. And that is having a profound effect. I mean, go figure, 37 seconds. So, but I don't personally run free healings. So, but that is really up to the individual. I'm just going to admit one person into the room. That's kind of what I wanted to share. any questions? What's coming up? Like, what's working for you? Yeah, I'd love to have people interact, and just unmute yourselves.
I have a question. Lorraine, just when you were saying that you do the subsequent scans after the initial one, so would you just run the All Healy programs results just a couple of minutes?
Yes, I do the All Healys at the end of the session to see if there's been a shift from the first one that we did, and there generally is. And then whatever it comes up as the first position and second position, I vibrate that through again.
Okay, great. And just for
but I don't go as long.
Yeah, just not 26 minutes again.
Yeah, no, I don't do 26 minutes again.
Okay.
But it might vary depending on who you're working with. But I just do, you know, the normal one, the 1 minute scan of those last ones. And then I might do it again to see if there's been another shift. And as Lee said, then you can run the chakras and do the chakra one as well. So you've combined a lot of things there in that short space of time, in that 30 minutes.
Yeah, great. Cool.
And then if you're writing all that's coming up as well, and like Lee said, some insights you're getting yourself while you're tuned into this person, then at the end of that session, you can ring them back and have a conversation about what came up secondary. And they'll often have some feedback to go, oh, that's really interesting because of this, this, or this. So you can have a bit of a dialogue about that.
Great, thanks.
We've got a question from Emma. She can't unmute, I think. So Emma's asked, how would we pitch it? And then she's got as a remote healing question mark. So how would we, if you, I guess, Emma, is this if you're wanting to sell this, or is it this wanting to promote your business? They're kind of two different things. So I'll respond.
You know, I think absent healing is really quite known now. I think a lot of people do have an understanding of absent healing and energy transference. So I think you could just pitch it as absent healing and diagnostic tool. So, and then, you know, you call it a name like absent healing, and then you have a subtitle that just describes absent healing can be as powerful as being with your therapist, something like that. And then you just go, well, you know, because it's always about, in marketing, it's always about what's in it for me, the client, you know, because it's got to go, wow, that resonates to me. And, you know, for those that can't get to a therapist, you know, who's it for? For those that can't get to a therapist but have a great need and just want a 30-minute session and want a diagnostic and then want to feel a vibration from an absent healing. I think you'd find that, you know, it's probably a good introduction for people too. You could sell it as an introductory session. You don't even have to come and see me. Like, you can brainstorm and you can just go for it. You don't even need to come and see me. Experience a 30-minute and an introductory level of the first time, $40. If you like that, and if that inspires you, if you're in this state, then come and see me for a full session. Or we can talk about having ongoing. I can sell you groups of absence, and you do one a week, or, you know, a couple a week, or whatever. So the sky's the limit. It's just your imagination. So long as you stick to the truth, and so long as you don't oversell, and so long as you stick to the facts. And then, you know, some people resonate to, particularly as Lee was saying, you know, the young, busy business women that want it and they want it now. Well, I want it tonight. That's why people get onto the internet and they have readings, and they'll pay hundreds of dollars, you know, 2 or 3 times a week to get a reading about their love life, for goodness sake. You know, why wouldn't, and I know women that have done that, you know, why wouldn't they get, I can't afford, or I don't have time to go to a healer, but hey, I'd like a 30-minute session, thank you very much. You might find that there's quite a market there.
Yeah, I love that. There's so many angles with that. It's, I guess for your Healy business, and if you actually want to share this as a tool, it's either for yourself as a self-empowerment tool to get you what you want in terms of your optimum health and mindset. I was just sharing this morning with my roommate is that, you know, Healy has taken me from, first it was skin, because I had melanoma, and then, you know, once that started to clear and I was okay to, you know, have, you know, my back showing and things like that, then I moved into women's menstrual and hormones, and then that was profound, and then now I'm moving more into sort of mindset, business, clarity, thought, like all those kinds of, it's just the journey has been phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to being able to share that, because I think that, you know, when I talk to people, they have no idea the capacity of this tool. It is profound.
Yes.
And everyone's coming
Yes.
in the group going, oh, I didn't know it did this, and I didn't know it did that. And so, you know, just, I guess, you know, for those who don't have resonance right now or don't have a product right now, this is available to re-watch. But again, it, you know, we'll come on here in a month's time and we'll all have our own experiences of how we've used it, what's worked. I personally just love showing people how the aura scans work, and then sending them the PDF reports, and you can do that through, like, directly through into Facebook. And so that's kind of cool. And, you know, in the coffee shops, women love color. They're all like around me, hairdressers, they all want to see the aura scan, color. Like once they see that little photo and they've got the color of aura around them, that's super cool. And then you can harmonize. And it's profound. They actually feel it. Like, you actually, 37 seconds, people are saying, I'm saying, how do you feel? They're like, I feel great. So you want to be working with women like yourself who get this, who get energy, who understand it. There are people I've run scans for who are not that open. And I think that, I love what Lorraine said, like, you set that intention, all with heart and, you know, a little prayer. So, and you talk your client through that, you know, what you're doing, so that they're in there with you. I think, you know, I'll definitely be taking that process away, if I'm really wanting to work with someone. So there will be many of you that decide to transition away from healing, and just focus on, you know, the business side of things, and sharing this modality as a very hands-off enterprise model for yourself, where you start writing. I've got people who want to be writers around the world. I've got people who want to be bloggers. For those who love travel, I've got people who want to travel more and stay in beautiful locations. And Healy is just that tool to help us get there. So many of you might want to do that, and we can definitely help you sort of move away and transition your business model from more of a hands-on to hands-off, which is why I love what Lorraine shared here. What other questions have you got? And we can go all out, general questions if you like. And then I would love to share my vision. Shall I just jump in and share my vision while you come up with questions? So I see this being mainstream, and I've got people approaching me from MLM companies worldwide around product. And I honestly believe that frequency will be the next nutrition. So along with obviously our food and, you know, like organic food, sprays, no spray on food, eating really healthy. But I'm finding that as I'm starting to cleanse with frequency, I don't see supplements in our cupboards anymore. I don't see extras. I don't see you needing to take, when you travel, take a lot of stuff with you now. I think that you'll be in optimum health. I see, rather than, you know, the vitamin C labs in Bali and places like that after a big night out, I see that being frequency labs. Lorraine shared with me, you know, a vision around Healy, saying that these guys are very galactic, if I can use that word, if everyone resonates. But the quantum physicists in Germany, and if you learn about their life story, they're kids that just got it. They're kids that have always felt energy and have always known there's a better way. And somehow they ended up in quantum physics, and, you know, and creating solutions for people around the world. Originally, Healy was distributed through practitioners, but of course, not all practitioners have the skill to network. And so they gave it to leaders. They gave it to women like yourself, to spread the word. And, you know, someone like Lorraine with her powerful experience, but also innate nature to heal, to have her hands on a tool like this. So Lorraine also shared with me that these guys, this is the beginning. Like this little tool, this little Healy is just the beginning. They will be, and I know that they're going to launch new products. And I think Max, if you've come across Max, he's a very good looking German that is promoting Healy, and now he's a former real estate agent, and he just wants to share. He doesn't really even care about the business. He just wants to get the word out that there is another way to heal, and it's quantum leaping, and we can jump timelines now. So we don't have to go through that long-winded process, which I've been through, and I'm sure all of you have, that big, long healing journey to get what we want. We can have it all now. And I was just sharing with Lorraine around my vision of this community is that it's going to be the community that people want to be part of. It's going to be very gentle, loving, kind, energetically, and it's going to be, I've had businesses where there've been thousands and thousands in the community. My intention was intimate, and so I know that if we could, I don't care if there's like 10 people in Higher Living community page. I don't care if there's, at the moment, there's around 80, because I know that if we can really get you understanding this vision and the power of this thing, like where it can take you, coaching, leading, whatever you want, other businesses, writing books, whatever it is for you, then you can make more of a difference than I could if I had like thousands in my community, which I've had in the past, because not everyone got the vision. So this is really, really powerful. And I want you to let me know as we go through is like, what do you want to see more of, and that kind of thing, so that we can make sure that these trainings are to make sure that you are equipped with the vision, and you are then sharing that and making a difference. So it's not so much rah-rah on social media, it's a less rah-rah, and it's more of grounded enterprise. How can we make a difference? So that's my vision. So I hope you're all with me on that. And in the beginning of this session, obviously, to get everybody to Germany, all expenses paid, in the room with those guys, in the room with those quantum physicists, the master healers. Their knowledge is profound, and just to really take what we know now and just exponentiate that and just spread the word. Very powerful. Awesome. Thanks, Emma. Any other questions? And then I'll get Lorraine to just close out. Hey, Sarah.
Hi. So obviously I'm quite new. I mentioned
Sarah
using
Sorry,
Joe's.
That's so cool.
Been using Joe's Healy for a while and seeing the amazing benefits that Joe's had. So you mentioned about Germany, and I have no idea what you actually need to do to like qualify to get to Germany, but I'd love to go. So
I'll be running a separate training on that, and I've scheduled one for next Wednesday, and that will be a recording.
Oh, yes, I saw. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. So that will be exactly what we all need to do, and we'll look at everybody's individual profile, and I might just I'll do a separate chat with you all independently, those who want to run. Then we'll work on strategy independently together, so we'll do a one-on-one session as well as group stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and by the rate that you're going, Sarah, fast started already, despite whether, fast starting is the way to go to start your business, get everybody else fast started. Just like focus there. And then I'll help you with the vision of the greater goal to get us all. And I'm planning Lux leadership retreats, and I'm really looking at Bavaria and places like that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. But the rate you're going, Sarah, yeah, you'll be there for sure.
Oh, hopefully. And do you have any insight into, I'm in Melbourne, do you have any insight into how long they're taking to be delivered at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm on the Gold Coast, and they have delivered just under 4 weeks, so 3.5 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Now, Australia Post has just sent out a notification saying that things are being held up in Melbourne. So we have given people the expectation of 6 to 8 weeks. However, on the website, it says 4 weeks. So let's just, let's work with whatever we need to do to manifest a very smooth, quick postal delivery. And in the meantime, let's connect and share with each other, so that we don't need to wait for that physical device before we start and do anything. Yeah. So get ourselves trained up, get ourselves ready, and then just facilitate a nice smooth process. One thing I know about Healy, and I've shared this with many people, is that it's a journey in itself. So whatever's showing up in your current reality, or however life has evolved till this point. So what I mean by that is you might receive your Healy and then the programs don't show up. Okay, so what's going on in your current reality? Are you a girl that just needs it all now? So it really has tested me on the technical side, even though it's just an app. Everyone's going, it's just an app. It's not just an app. Healy, this is the beginning of your healing journey. Once you've ordered, this is where it begins.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I'll ask people to be mindful of like whatever's coming up. So set the intention that it will be smooth post, everything will set up really quickly. And that's what I did. Mine just set up really easily. And it's trying to help others. And I remember with Lorraine, hers didn't set up and I couldn't really help her because I was like, well, mine just set up really quickly. I don't even know. So I didn't take the time to learn. So I invite people to take the time, watch the videos, learn the setup, and have those tools ready to flick to other people in your community. Set the intention that you're building a very fast, you're spreading the word really quickly, whether you have the device or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very, very powerful.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Natalie? Never experienced it, but jumped in with the knowing it's awesome. I was the same. I'd been client of bioresonance therapy, which is the same kind of technology using microcurrent, and I had profound results. But I just know. I know the types of people that this is inviting in, and when people like Lorraine with that sort of experience, that if I must admit, like I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. But when I saw people like Lorraine jump in and like other healers, Nikki is kinesiologist, like when people like that jump in, I'm like, oh, you guys inspire me. Like, I'm like, oh, and you have always bring a different angle. And it's all based on your experience until now, like what's been your healing journey until now. And Jo, you've had a really extraordinary healing journey, and those kinds of things inspire me that this is the type of people it's attracting. So yeah. Any other questions? Fast tracking, just to explain, means you whatever product you come in with, you fast track if you sell 3. So if you come in with Gold Holistic Health or Holistic Health Plus, you get a free upgrade. If you come in with Resonance and you sell 3 in 30 days, you get a free Resonance. I mean, that's 4,000 Australian dollars worth, 2,500 euros outside the promo. So grateful that we all got in the promo. I've never made a promo, by the way. My funds have always which is interesting in itself. My funds have always shown up outside promos. Very interesting. So Healy is a journey in itself. Any other questions? I might just get Lorraine to close this session out on specifically remote healing, and then we'll have some more training specifically on team stuff and getting to Germany and fast starting and strategy and all those kinds of good things.
Okay, so if we just all come together and just close your eyes, take your eyes off screen and just close your eyes. Just breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth, just thinking, oh, I let go. I choose love. I choose peace. And just keep your mind focused on, I choose love. I choose peace. We call upon divine guidance. I ask now that all your guides and angels be with you. We're here to spread the love. We're here to be part of the new world as the new earth is coming down very quickly as we move through all this hardship of this year, and we move in to a new earth, a 5th dimensional reality. And this is the reality that quantum physics and even the Healy are helping us to move towards lifting our vibration and choosing love, peace and harmony for ourselves and for the whole world. And we pray now that all the souls that are sitting on the fence, that they awaken and know themselves as creative forces connected to the one source of all things, as we're all connected to the one source of all things. And we are so grateful to be on the planet at this time, to be leaders in leading the way towards love and light. And we release all fear, because we have no fear. There is nothing to fear. All is divine. And God's got this. It's all perfect in every way. And we look forward to the new earth that's coming. And we are so blessed to be on the planet at this time. And we are so blessed to be ready to be leaders for all those awakening souls that need to catch up. And we're going to be there to catch them when they are ready to fall and show them the way. And what a blessing that is for all of us to be able to do that. So with that, I'd say amen, and so be it.
Beautiful. Oh, that's so nice. Wow, there's so much more that Lorraine and I talked about earlier before this call, and I'm pretty excited to share that with you. I will just get, after this, close this out, I would just get your feedback and pulse and insights on what you want to see more of. I personally love prayer. I love doing stuff like that. So yeah, let me know. And I just want to thank Lorraine again for her time and her energy, not only for this call, but the call we had earlier. Thank you, Lorraine. I feel amazing.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me connect to those beautiful people.
Yeah, and if you want a healing with Lorraine, she does operate as a healer. If you are local,
Sarah.
travel, yeah, anyone who wants one, then you're more than reach out to Lorraine and organize something really special for yourself. That's a real treat. Closing out, anything else for anybody?
Can I just say that if anyone wants any feedback from me, or have got any questions, you can contact me via email, info@lorrainewebb.com.au.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Lorraine. Appreciate that. Or also just in the chat as well. So if they've got any questions in the higher level group as well, that'd be really, really good. All right. So thank you for your Sunday mornings. Thank you for your Saturday night in the USA. Thanks for spending time with us, and we'll speak to you soon.